Oh, here we are. Yes, we are. It is episode 42. This is On the Road, in the Waves, and on the other side with me, your host, Paul Carpenter. Today, I am having not only technical issues with my lighting, haha, but I am having an awesome guest on today. That's going to be Leslie Jackson. He is a DJ producer out of Houston, Texas, and I am excited to have him on today. I'm just waiting to see where he is. So let's go check on him now. Don't leave, folks, as this is my first time to try and use the setup here that they have on Steamyard online, and it's a little confusing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna try and change this because this always messes me up when I'm always backwards. I'm gonna mirror this. That's better. And then I'm now going to see if I have my guests here. Let me see what's going on. I'm gonna go to this view. Okay, I don't know. So hopefully he'll be here any second now. Let me go check to see where he is. All right. I sent him the message. I'm waiting for Leslie Jackson to show up to the show. Good thing, though, that if I go and check other stuff out, you guys can actually see it. I wonder if you guys can see if I were to add a camera grid, camera slot, media slot. Oh, I can do a media slot. Oh, look at this. Now, how do I add media? That didn't work. All right. Well, I tried. That's all that matters. And now I don't know how to get myself back. Wait. What the? Oh no. What's going on? Add myself to the stage. I'm on stage. It says I'm on, but I know that you guys can't see me because I can't see me either right now. How do we cancel that? Oh, there I am. Hi, I'm back. All right. So once again, I'm waiting for Leslie to show up, and hopefully he'll be here in a second, and we'll find out what's going on. In the meantime, I'd like for anybody who's out there to please, if you would not mind, please go check out the links that are flailing across the screen right now. That's youtube.com/Paul David Carpenter, or facebook.com/mentally hip FAN. The reason that I ask you to go watch on those is that that's the only way that I can actually see you. All right, so Leslie's calling me on the phone now. I sent you a message. You should be on that link because I'm already live on the show. Sent you a message on Messenger. Just join me on the show there. You'll see me, and then you can join in. I already introduced you and everything.
You don't see me right here?
What, inside the show? I don't see you at all, no. Are you here now?
Are you on the show on Messenger, or are you on the show on Facebook?
Okay, so go to the link I sent you on Messenger, and then follow that to come to me here, because I'm distributing on like 7 platforms right now. All right.
Stay tuned.
All right, bye. So any moment now, we will hopefully have our first comments come in. Once again, I cannot see your comments if you're watching me on Facebook on my profile. And that's just my normal everyday facebook.com/mentally HYP. I cannot see your messages in any way or form. So if you want me to see your messages, which I would love to read them, and I'm sure that Leslie, LMFJ, DJ LMFJ would also like to see them. So by all means, please go there and do that. Okay, here we go. I'm bringing DJ LMFJ to the stage. Here we go. Here he is. Ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing today, my friend? How are you doing?
What is up, Mr. Paul Carpenter?
Yeah, man. So how are you doing, man? And what's going on?
Man, you know what? First and foremost, I got to tell the world that I am beyond blessed. I am happy to be upright and breathing, healthy, happy, and just blessed beyond belief at the moment, my friend. I'm out of town right now, working, making my money. But the end of the job has come, and I'm going to be here another day or so. My wife's flying out in the morning, and we're going to drive back together, back to Houston from Ohio. So it's going to be a nice little trip back home with the wifey and I. So I'm doing great, man. I can't ask for no better, my brother. How are you? You look good.
Man, I'm good. So let me do the intro really quickly. This is Leslie Jackson, also known as DJ LMFJ, my friend. Thank you for coming onto the show. Thank you for being here with us today. If you would not mind, please tell us who are you, what are you about, and where do you come from? And we'd love to hear.
So I am Leslie Jackson, as a lot of people know, aka LMFJ. 47 years old, happily married husband to a beautiful wife of Amanda. We have 3 kids. We have 3 grandkids. We hail out of New Orleans, born and raised. I moved to Houston about 15 years ago or so, right after Katrina. And I work in the oil field. I travel a little bit here and there. For those that know me, I'm an API inspector. So I go from big city to big city, refineries and stuff like that. I do shutdown work, which I'm doing right now. I'm doing a tank shutdown work for Enterprise Products. Shout out to all the guys up here in Ohio that's at Enterprise that follow me right now. Mark and those guys, thank you. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I've been a DJ for probably 25 years. I started out DJing back in the New Orleans days, State Palace Theater, spinning hard house at the time. Now I play more of tech house. I play at some of the biggest clubs in Houston. I'm blessed. I'm hooked up with the Scooby-Doo crew, Bass Mafia, and the crew. Shout out to JD, Mauricio, and Peabody, and Dustin, and everybody from the crew and Scooby-Doo crew for, giving me the opportunity to showcase, my skills and my passion, what I do which is ultimately being on a stage and entertaining you folks with the best dance music and the latest of bomb music and bomb entertainment at any given time throughout the Houston area. I play at Bajas, Houston. I play quite often at actually tonight. Shout out to JD and everybody. It's Wednesday. Tonight is, if you're not doing anything tonight, I'm plugging right now. Sunset Lounge.
Slow down, man. You're going so fast. You're going so fast.
Sunset Lounge. I gotta plug it. Sunset Lounge. If you're doing anything in Houston tonight, go to Sunset Lounge tonight. It's a rooftop bar. A lot of the pictures you see me from, where the city behind me, that's Sunset Lounge. It's once a month house night. It's tonight, Wednesday night. It's always a Wednesday. It's the 3rd Wednesday of the month or last Wednesday of the month. Please go out and check those guys out. It's a fucking phenomenal time. It's great. Go. It's free. It's free. You get on the roof for free and see some of the best DJs you're ever going to watch. So,
that's it. You're going to be on a rooftop in Houston listening to dope ass music. I don't think you can ask for much more. Listen, I want to do a deep dive on you, Leslie Jackson, like I try to do with everybody on this podcast. So, you were born and raised in Louisiana, you said.
New Orleans,
right? So, my question for you, I guess, is what was your first introduction to music, being that that's where you're at now? That's kind of your thing now. That's not what you were. Was that always your thing? Were you always into music, and then you fell into this other world of working like the oil rig jobs and all that?
No, I would say music has probably been my passion since I've been a little kid. I grew up in a house where there was anywhere from jazz to rock and roll, classic rock, heavy metal. I grew up in an old biker family. Southern bikers type family with lots of good music, and my mother and father listened to lots of good jazz and rock and roll and a lot of eclectic range of music since I was a kid. I didn't get into the oil field till I got out of high school, which was probably about like 18 years old. So the oil field is my primary. Music is definitely not my primary. It's my primary passion, other than being a father and a husband, So
when did if you don't mind me, hey Moose, chill out. When were you were you always big? Were you always a big guy, or did you work out? Were you like a skinny waif of a human being and then you gained weight? Or hey, chill. Or
Moosey,
or
where's Moosey?
I'm gonna get him. Hold on, I'm gonna get him. Moose, come here.
You gotta get him. I gotta see my guy. By the way, the outfit the other night was super cute that you had him in.
Everyone wants to say hello to the Moose. All right.
Oh, you have to, man. He's the star. Moosey, hey, buddy. Look at this guy, man. I've loved this guy since the day you brought him around, man. Moose is the bomb. He is like, he is such a sweet animal. You know what I mean? And I'm a dog lover. So.
He really is. Look, I got this from Dusty Hayes. He goes, "Yo, what's up, Les and Paul? This is about to be one bomb ass interview. I love it."
What's up? What's up? Hey, stay hazy, baby.
Stay hazy, baby.
So he's getting me saying it. So no, I was man. I quit smoking cigarettes
so music
when I was
a thing
like,
for you. Did you ever?
I wasn't always a big guy. Like I was getting back to your question. I wasn't always a big guy. I started working out when I was probably around 28 years old. I started getting into fitness and gym and started taking care of myself. I stopped smoking cigarettes and shit. So, here we are today.
So before that, you said there was because you are a big guy. But before that, for the first say 8 years of you being on the oil field, you weren't a big guy. You were
nope.
I mean, what do you weigh now and what do you weigh then? Or let's say what you weigh when you were 28 and what do you weigh when you were 20?
I'm 6'4" now and I'm at 260 comfortably. And back then I was about 190 pounds. Not comfortable. I was a skinny, sucked up beanpole.
You were a really skinny guy at that point then. I mean, super skinny guy.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of meat on me.
That's small for a guy who's 6'4". I mean, that's like me at 5'9", weighing 140 pounds. It's almost the same kind of thing. It's like super skinny. It's too skinny.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I wasn't taking care of myself, back in the day, but I learned really quickly that hey, eating and nutrition is something that needs to be a part of your life. It's not something. It's not a fad. It's and obviously I've been doing it this long, so. I still work out. I CrossFit avidly, weight train avidly. So, and I eat pretty good. I don't do drugs. So, I stay within the healthy realm of life. You know what I mean? The best that I can. I like to drink a little bit because, that's about it.
Yeah. So, okay. So you're, let's say we're now right back where you're 28 years old. You're now bigger. What does that do for you and your self-confidence in life? Did it change the trajectory of who you were as a person? Do you feel that the weight itself was the issue or the thing that got that to happen? Or was it just you feeling better about yourself because you were physically being better to yourself? Or a combination of the both?
I think it's the latter. I think it's just when I started feeling like, hey, I feel healthier. I'm a little bit more full. I'm bigger. I went through some bouts where I was getting a little too heavy and then I'll drop back down a little bit but it's all about your intake and food. But yeah, as far as self-confidence, I think, I've always been an outgoing, I'm a pure soul, right? I'm a outgoing, very out-loving everyone type of person, human being that most people know. And so my confidence just comes from me just being who I am. It's not nothing that I needed to do with weight. The weight change and me being, a physically fit, bigger guy, just put icing on the cake,
Okay. So you were always the guy who you are today. In other words, what I like to say is that you're this very soft, I don't want to say soft because you're not necessarily soft. You're very strong in your approach of who you are as a person, but you're not angry about it, I guess is what I'm saying. You're not, man. I dare I say it, you have benevolence with your strength. I think you understand your size, you understand your demeanor and what it means to other people, and so therefore you come across in a very light, jovial way to maybe bring that thing down a level, so that people aren't so like, okay, fucking huge ogre of a man on top of me, like.
Yes, yeah, you pretty much hit it on the head. And
Because
thank you.
to anybody,
Thank you. True story. That is pretty much kind of how I walk in life. I know that I'm a bigger guy. My wife tells me all the time, like, babe, you're very intimidating. Because I'll ask her, like, babe, why do these people treat me like this? And she goes, babe, look at you. You're a super big guy. You're tatted up. You're very outgoing. You're loud. You're not a puss. You know what I mean? But you're polite at the same time. But I get my point across. I'm just a man. So I think a lot of what we go through in society, especially in this country today, is the demasculinization of men being men. Men need you need to be a man. You don't need to come off as an asshole and you're not frightening, but you still need to come off as the strong, coveting man. And I think that's a lot of men are missing that today's culture, right? With these newer generation of these guys coming up, they don't have that because you know why? A lot of their daddies aren't in their lives. I think, I think that has a lot to do with it.
It's a big percentage of the people that we're talking about when you look at the statistics. Unfortunately, we have been raising a generation of fatherless homes, and if not fatherless homes,
motherless,
mother homes, right? And it's one or the other, or
right.
and then you have the whole transgendered movement and the LGBTQ community that want to have their own families, which I do not blame them in any way, shape, or form. Of course, they all want to. Everybody wants to have something to leave, right? We all want to leave something at the end.
Yeah, I don't judge. For those out there that are living with the, single binary type families, and God bless you if that's what you want to do. And I'm do you whatever makes you happy, as long as you're not hurting others. To me, for my belief and what I stand on, I believe in a mother and father being present in the home to have a good outcome and success for your children.
I mean, it's not saying that you can't, right? We're not trying to be disrespectful or anything.
Right.
I totally agree.
Not at all.
And it's true. Like I was just in a competition about 5-6 days ago. That was called the Great American Speak Off, which I lost horribly in. I didn't even make it past like the first round. They're like, no, not you. I'm sure they were looking for something else. I was trying to do magic and do a whole speaking thing, and that was probably way more than they wanted.
Which, by the way, for those that are out there that don't know Paul Carpenter, this guy's an amazing character. Number one, you're an amazing person, very loving and giving person, open, very honest, and very intellectual. But also, you're very, very badass musician. I love the magic work that you do. You and I met because of magic. You know what I mean?
I've been working on something here. I'll show. Let me see if I can show this to you. Hold on. I've been kind of.
I do like the rolling paper.
I'm totally
the rolling paper one you posted the other day.
Oh, you liked it? The ripping the paper?
Yes.
I thought that it was way too obvious, and so I was
it wasn't obvious. It was simple but effective.
Okay.
Effective.
That's all. I like the music behind it. That's what I like. I thought the music.
Yeah, and then you had music where it's kind of.
But anyways, this is the idea. Thank you.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
So here's the idea: is that you go like this, you go look here, and then whoop, and then a coin appears. You're like, oh, wow, like yeah, and then you go watch, boop, and then you have two coins, and then you can just go watch. Right, oh, wait, hold on.
Wait.
Maybe if I drop this one, just like that, it comes up, and I love that the idea of making it disappear and then reappearing from one hand to the other kind of idea, I don't know. It's and then maybe grabbing another one and then having it appear out of nowhere, 1, 2, 3.
Oh my God.
Now it's over here.
It's crazy.
So, anyways, I was just playing around.
I know. You make it look so
with
easy.
ideas. I've been messing around. A friend of mine, hopefully him and his son will be on Roy Cooper's out of Las Vegas. He's a guy who makes magic gimmicked stuff. It's very, very cool.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like, Dusty's still here. He said it was a good trick for real. Laugh out loud. Thank you, man. Thank you. I love you guys. It's so nice of you. Okay, so let's get back to you. You're 28, 29, 30. We're around this time is where we were. What happens? What goes on? And what's the next movement? Is this? Are you already a father at this point?
Yeah.
Let's go back. When did you become a dad? When was when you first? Wait, let's go back. When did you meet Amanda? How long have you guys been married at this point? Yada yada. There's so much to talk about.
I know. Right? It's weird you ask these questions because you've been knowing us for years.
Well, yeah, I know, but I mean, but it's like it's not me. There's like 7 people who don't know who you are, or 100 people that'll watch this, or 1,000 people at the end of the distribution run. So, because it's really good, man. I've been getting really crazy views on LinkedIn, of all places.
Okay.
I had a guy on, Pat Sloan. I don't know if you know who Pat Sloan is.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He was just on the other day. You should go get connected to him. He's starting to an open mic.
Okay.
And he's talking to, or he's working at a coffee shop that's right across the street from NASA Space Center. And they have like a really cool interior and this, that, and the other. Whatever. Yeah. If you have the time, kick back to the episode with him. And I gave him a ton of ideas and things that he could do to possibly rent it out and make some money and nights. Whatever. Go talk to him. You took it to work. Okay. That's that. So when do you become when was the first time you become a dad?
So I met my wife when I was 23. I'm sorry, my wife might kick me in the ass for not remembering the exact time frame, but I was about 23, just got back from California, met my wife. And funny thing is, we've been knowing each other our whole life. We grew up around each other. She was actually in the same group of friends that I grew up with, but she was in a steady relationship with Brent's dad, right? So Brent's dad and my best friend were both drummers in 2 separate hardcore bands in New Orleans. My wife went to Lividays. I went to Gretna. We were around each other a lot. We kind of knew each other, but we never knew each other. Like we never, we would say hi. But when we met, the second round for this round, when we met, we discovered that we were like, oh, you're the Amanda with the hair down to your butt. And she was like, yeah, you were the skinny ass with the big mouth and hung out with Dwayne. I was like, yeah, that was me. You know what I mean? So
the loud mouth.
That was me. And long story short, we fell in love with each other instantly. Shout out to my baby. I love you, woman. Without you, I would be nothing today. And it almost, it's almost to where I'll cry just even talking about it. It was a magic moment. I am who I am today because I have a beautiful wife and a wonderful support person who is loved by all, especially by me and our children. And but we met, and then it wasn't a year later we had Ayla. We were pregnant for Ayla. And the rest is history. So Brent was like 4 years old when we met,
Right.
And there we go. So, and then later in life, her and I split up a little bit during Katrina. Not nothing proud to be of. We were both going through some things in life, but we split up. I wound up evacuating from Katrina. I was talking to another woman here in Houston, and that's how I met my little boy's mama. Her and I were dating for about a year, and then she wound up getting pregnant, and that's how I had my little boy Caleb. And then after he was born, her and I split up, and then me and Amanda actually got back together, and I married her. And we've been happily ever after since then.
Wow, what a story.
It's crazy. A crazy story, but it just goes to show that true love came together.
It's one of those things in life. It's funny how
what was meant to be was. So,
You literally took the words out of my mouth. Like, all right, good. I was going to say, it's one of those stories in life where it's to be, it's meant to be. What's meant to be is meant to be, and no matter how much you may falter or follow or whatever, this, that, or the other, it's gonna end up becoming what it's supposed to be. So it's a beautiful thing.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So okay, so you're now let's see, Dusty's back and he says, I was in Slagel for Katrina, that sucked. And Slidell, I'm thinking that's pretty probably Slidell is what he's saying there.
I don't know what he's saying, but you spelled Katrina wrong. Love you, Dusty. He probably just hit me.
Got him. All right, so
you silly, bro. You make me
okay. So you're 30-something years old. You've left Katrina. You're now married, or you're now married in Houston. A couple of kids. You're doing your thing. When do you get back to doing music? And then when after that do you starting to produce? Because you produced a ton of people and worked and done a ton of collaborations since. So like, when does that come back into play?
Shortly when I got back to Houston, a couple of years went by, actually a few years went by, and I was still just DJing kind of privately on my own, still keeping up with my skills. I'm a turntablist. So, I kept decks inside of my living room, always practicing, always throwing little parties and having my thing, doing my thing, practicing, just enjoying doing what I do. And then I literally just got hooked up with the right people and started just getting, I said, you know what, I need to start just, life's going by too fast. I need to start getting and doing something. Houston is very massive as far as the scene. The electronic music scene is really, really big. I got lucky and I hooked up with the right people, and man, next thing you know, it just kind of just took off into this direction of, hey, this is LMFJ. He does this, and this. And, a lot of people, most of the people I knew, except for DJ Side, were not on turntables. They were all on CDJs. So that's kind of how I got noticed in the beginning. I was a turntable guy, but I was still doing everything that these guys can do on electronic machine. So that kind of took off. And then a couple years went by, and then I started playing. I started opening for big acts. I started doing open mics and started doing, different things. But then I got noticed, and I opened it up for DJ Irene. Next thing you know, I'm opening up for, Richard Humpty Vision, Rise Rooftop, played Bauhaus for the first time at that time. Then I got hooked up with the Scooby-Doo crew at a private party in a church, by the way. It was a big rundown. It was an abandoned church that these people own. They turned it into a big party spot. Got hooked up there. And then that kind of really blew it up, because when I got hooked up with the SDC crew, that is a whole crew full of promoters and DJs. So it was history after that. You know what I mean? So
so here's my question, because I like to ask everybody this. Who was the first person, and this might have to go way back because you've jumped a lot, but who was the first person that was your hello? The first person that gave you your first kind of like your comeuppance into the DJ scene? And this might be way back when you were much younger, even, like the guy who was like, yo, bro, you seem like a cool kid. You like this kind of music. Let me show you how, like, what spinning is. Let me show you how to spin and, like, what this whole world is. Like, who was that guy in your life? Like, that.
Good question. I honestly, I would have to probably put it on one of my best friends from New Orleans, Chad Kane. Best friend, one of my best friends still to the day, was my best friend at the time. He was a big hip hop / club DJ at the time, but he was into the electronic scene too. And we were throwing big house parties and doing underground rave scene shit, going to big underground raves and starting our own kind of little clique of DJs. And I couldn't DJ to save my life at the time. I sounded like two tennis shoes in a dryer. I sounded like shit. I bought me a cheap set of turntables, and I practiced, and we have little house parties and shit. And that's kind of how it really started. You know what I mean? I always knew going to these big underground parties, I always what?
I sounded like two sneakers. I'm sorry, that was so good, dude.
The reason that's relevant, hold on, the reason that's relevant, that's what we were calling it then. So when he watches Kane, when you watch this podcast, tune back, comment back and let them know that tennis shoes in the dryer means that you were like, you weren't beat matching at all. Like you were horrible. You know what I mean? We all start somewhere, right? You never start off. Nobody starts off. Gymnasts don't start off doing back.
Sounded like
right?
tennis shoes in a
You know, a gymnast don't start off doing back.
100%. So let's get back to the story. Let's get back to your story. You were talking about your boy who you're still friends with. He's the guy who got you on your first ones and twos.
Yeah, pretty much. He kind of pushed me into. He was like, what I told him, I was like, hey, because he was already a DJ, like in the club. He was playing like 90s bounce music and shit, like club stuff, bounce, shoot, booty shake and shit, which was popular and badass at the time. But he also liked playing real underground hard house and tech house and break beats and shit, which was popular in New Orleans. So I'm right there in the mix of that. And it was just all of a sudden, here you go. And by the way, my name then wasn't LMFJ. It was, I was DJ Symbol at the time. That's how I started off. I was DJ Symbol, and I was on many of, once I started learning my way, I was on many of underground party rave flyers and doing my thing. And when I got to Houston, it just really took off. I just kind of just did my own thing and developed into who I am today, which is LMFJ. And then to answer the second part of your question, producing didn't come till about like 3 years ago. I know just from the experience of being in life right now, like you can be the best DJ in the world, but being a DJ is a very competitive, area to be in. If you want to be someone, most of the big world stage DJs, they make their own beats, they make their own music. I'm a huge hip hop head. A lot of people don't know that about me. They think I'm just all electronic music, but I'm a huge hip hop fan.
This is actually going to be one of my questions for you a second ago was when you first learned, did you learn hip hop as your style of mixing, as a lot of people were doing back in the day, where they were scratching on one record and then hitting a beat on the other and going back and forth and
look,
all of that, technical, stuff.
I learned how to scratch early on. I learned how to beat match, and then I learned how to scratch. We would have these little scratch sessions and shit with either techno or hip hop. We would have beat sessions and scratch sessions, and I've learned to kind of develop my skills over the years of doing that. But I always knew, I was like, you know what? I had this passion of just, I want to make my own sound, whatever that is, whether it be hip hop, electronic, which I make both now, but I wanted to develop my own sound. And I did. I bought my first beat machine, which is a Native Instruments MK3. I watched a year of YouTubing. I learned on my own. No one taught me how.
So this is my next question for you. When you say make your own sound, you literally mean like you literally want to make each one of the distinct pieces of the song that come out, so that you're not sampling quote unquote from somewhere else. You're not just grabbing a track and another track and slapping them together. You're a full-on producer, then a DJ, if you will.
Yes.
I mean, because if you want to get to the technical words of like you're a disc jockey, that's what DJ stands for. You're literally mixing from one disc to the other. Is the idea. It's the person who's on the radio who goes in between songs and so on and so forth. And on some level, that is what the ultimate DJs of today are. Like Steve Aoki or Marshmello or whoever.
Yeah, they do remix it. Well, except for those guys, which they're doing what I'm describing now. Those dudes do a lot of like remix stuff where they're actually taking what someone else done, taking samples of it, making it their own, making a whole new something out of it, but yet be still recognizable. How like, oh, that's an Aoki joint, but it's LMFJ. It's remixed. So I do that, and I do that with hip hop. So I sample like the original way of sampling always has been, and probably will be for a good time now. Is I take old vinyl. It could be anything. It could be a sound off of an old dance record. It could be something, you just whatever, obscured, eclectic, anything. Take that sound, rip it off of vinyl, put it in my MPC, chop that sample up, do what I want with the sample, and build a whole track around that, and then make my own what I want out of it. And that's what I mean by I have my own sound. And many people that know me by now say and that's what I strive for. Like, even like my kids and my wife and people that know me, like, I can tell that's you. That's LMFJ. That's your sound. I know that's how you make your shit. Like, you have certain things that you do, even in the producers. And I'll get into this in a minute. I'm in a beat battle league, a national beat battle league. Shout out to Flip Banger. He's our host for the Who Wants That Smoke Beat Battle League out of Carolina. I'm a part of it. We have weekly battles every Friday. It's called Fire Fridays on Who Wants That Smoke. So I'm plugging it right now. We actually have a beat battle coming up this Friday. Actually, it's going to be this Saturday. It's for a Halloween beat battle. We're battling another crew. So it's just like way back in the day, old school shit. Like, you had like graffiti battles, you had DJ battles, MC battles. We have beat battles with other crews that are from other parts of the country, and we battle these guys track for track. And it has upped my game like tremendously because of that.
So my question for you here is a couple things. One, do you have a one main website that's just you, that is that describes all of the places, locations, like all of the, like all your tour dates, and then all of your online stuff, and then let's say, for instance, this thing is a podcast, or do you have something like that that's all one repository of everything you?
Yep. Honestly, no, and I'll tell you why. One, because I obviously work a lot. I have a full-time job. No, but when I get home here in a couple of days, I'm gonna be off for a couple of weeks. My main mission right now, I got a couple of tracks to sample clear, because obviously I have a couple of big names that are out right now that I'm on tracks that I produced. I have to clear those, but I am working with someone when I get home. Matter of fact, Mixed Breed is connecting me with the guy that he's working with right now, that's going to build my bio of one central thing that's going to put everything in one right. So now it's pretty
there's
much
like
huh?
Go ahead.
I said I'm not there right yet.
Yeah, and all I was saying was there's a website that you can use, which I believe is called All My URLs or something like that, where you can just connect like all your, like, on one page. It has all of the different, URLs that you're connected to. And then there's also other services that are like that. You can pay a monthly fee or this, that, and the other to have them, so on and so forth.
I'll say this, my time is coming for that.
Sorry. Let me take a break really quickly and just go to my little moment here for everybody. Everybody who's here, I want to say thank you for watching. This is On the Road, in the Waves, and On the Other Side with me, Paul Carpenter. This is episode 42 with LMFJ. Thank you so much for staying and watching. I want to throw a big shout out. I have some people that are out there who are actually watching the show, who are starting to sponsor the show. I am asking for sponsorship from all the way from big time corporations all the way down to you guys out there. Depending on your sponsorship level, I'll do t-shirts, I'll do hoodies, I'll do whatever you want. But nonetheless, I'm trying to pay for this thing monthly, and it's like $50 a month so that I can be distributed on all these different platforms. And soon enough, I will be on Apple, I will be on Spotify, and all the other blog networks. So for those of you who are here, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. The last thing I'll say is, if you want to make a comment, if you look at the post, at the bottom of the post, it'll say something about letting Steamyard know who you are through Facebook. It's like a click link. And if you click on that, I believe your comments will come in. If that doesn't work, then you can try any one of the two links that are flying across the board right now, either this banner or that banner going across, and those will more than likely allow allow me to see the comments that you're leaving. Otherwise, I can't see them. So that's that, and we're back now with my friend LMFJ. My friend. So because we jump a lot, but I'm super a bit overwhelmed, and I'm sure you were as well when it all started to happen. So that was your first hello, like we said, right? So then who was your hello in Houston? Because it seems like that's where it took off for you. You said that there was like one moment where you did one thing and then you did another group, which was, I think it's called the SDC, I think is what you call them, or I think it's the Scooby-Doo crew. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. But it was before that. So who was that one before the Scooby-Doo crew thing happened and that, did a whole other thing?
I'll be. There's only one way to really say this, and it's the honest truth, and I'm not ashamed of it all. I love him dearly, and I would have to say the person that really pushed me into the corner that I needed to be in to be where I am today as a producer and also a DJ, not only a DJ like in the techno scene and the dance music club scene, but a DJ as far as backing up other bands, because I'm a really good percussionist type DJ that backs up people that want a DJ to perform live with them. I'm really good at that. I'm easy. I can pick up their music easy because I'm musically inclined. I would have to say shout out to Cooli, man. Cooli Booli was the first person that really pulled me to the side. It was like, hey, man, I really dig what you're doing. I see you have a lot of potential. I have a lot to offer, and I think that I can, we together can grow. At the time, he had an interim DJ. Shout out to Rave DeVille out in Chicago. He's an amazing person, amazing guy. When Cooli would go on some of the tours, Rave DeVille would fill in, but Cooli didn't have that full-on one-on DJ that was like permanent. And then so him and I kind of locked that in, like, hey, you know what? Anytime we're doing something or we're going anywhere, especially local, I'm going to be his guy. And we did a couple of shows. Live at Bill's was one of the first things we did. But he also pushed me into, I was telling him, say, man, I'm starting to do this producing thing. And, Cooli's all about funk, hip hop, all of that. He's really good he's amazing at all of that. And he's also a producer. People don't realize that all of Cooli's music you're listening to, it's not him just on the mic, him and his beautiful wife. That music that you're listening to is his music as well. He's an amazing producer. So he probably put me on the map to answer the question. He was the one that, initially put me out there to make me take that leap and say, hey, I want to do this. I can try this. And I started making beats. And trust me, my first beats were shit. And then as a little bit of time went on, because I'm sending them all to him like, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? What do you think of this? And eventually he's like, shit. And then our first joint we got. It's called Legacy. That's out on all platforms. Cooli Booli featuring, produced by LMFJ. The song is called Legacy. That was like 3 years ago. We put that out. Man, that was the turning point for me where I knew I had something to produce, something to offer, something to a skill set to say, hey, you know what? I need to sharpen and hone in on this. And so there it was, So to answer that question, it has to be undoubtedly Robert, my man, aka Cooli Booli. It has to be, he started it all for me, honestly. And then I slowly moved into the King Babies and Mixed Breed and these other bigger artists that I work with. And I got another artist that's actually national, worldwide, that I can't announce right now, that I'm on the cusp of working with. It's gonna blow me right out of Houston. So hopefully, God willing, that comes through. But on the beginning, definitely Cooli.
Man, forgive me if I'm wrong, but was I not at your home when you guys first started? Literally the first days that you guys connected and started actually working together, I was there.
You was at my house at that party, yes.
So crazy, dude. I remember it, dude. I remember like that night, the synergy that I was jealous of it. I was no, dude, because it was electric, bro.
It
Honestly.
was meant to be.
Like, I'm not trying to be weird. I'm not trying to be like, oh, and me.
No.
You guys were electric, and you can see it when you watch him and his wife and him on stage and his whole artistic. I've mentioned him on this podcast, I don't know how many times, when I talk about artists from Houston, people who are beyond the scope of, and it's the same kind of thing like in magic, where sometimes I call it like being a creator, designer, performer. You know what I mean? And it's sort of kind of like the same thing in what you're saying. It's like you're literally the creator of the song, the producer, and the DJ, and the performer. And in that there's something that happens. I can't explain it. I don't know what it is. It's awesome to see every time I see it. But it's when an artist goes really deep and then they like regurgitate whatever it is that they're going to come out with. But on top of that, they also like, when they do that regurgitation, it's not just one form of regurgitation. It's not just music, but it's full on like a character and clothing and a stage presence and it's a thing, bro. And that's what like in the Houston scene, there's a couple artists that do that, like in a good big way, and he's one of them. You know what I mean? And I think you mentioned another one, which is like King Baby, who has very definitive style that I haven't really heard or seen anywhere else in like the rap game. Like that way that he does it's his thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but he
so
also has a character that's built around it.
Yes, they have this, just like you hit it on a nail. Like Cooli definitely has this stage presence where when he walked on stage, it's an instant, it's on. I actually transform, right? I'm not just LMFJ. I'm Cooli Booli. I'm part of what's going on at that moment, whether it's just his songs that I'm DJing or it's music that we did together and we're performing it together. It's a melting energy that's just like magnets. It just comes together. It works. We have a connection. That's all I can really describe it as. We have a great connection and it works. Also, too, you're right. Like so Diego with King Baby has that live band persona. Also, he transforms when he gets on stage. He turns into King Baby and he goes into his mode. And I think a lot of the best artists on the planet have that, right? You talk to some of the biggest artists in the world, that's not the dude you're seeing on stage. When you talk to him on the side, you're like, damn, I didn't think he was anything like that. Because they are like that, right? That's just a part of what they do. That's what they think they want to be when they're up there. So they transform.
Right.
Just like me, when I get on stage, even when I'm by myself DJing, when I step on that stage, dude, I transform into LMFJ. I put a cape on. I put a mask.
All right, folks. I'm not sure what's going on, but it looks like we lost Leslie there. Let me come back on the stream. I don't know what's going on. We were there. He was talking, and all of a sudden his screen froze out completely. I'm waiting for him to come back. He should be here any second. I'm gonna go check on him. Check him one more time. It looks like he's. His mic is there, but his screen is completely frozen. I'm not sure if maybe the thing he was using or whatever he was using, the Wi-Fi there at the hotel that he's at, might have gone out. Who knows? It's that's what you get when you do live streams. Have we learned that at the very least here on the road in the waves and on the other side? We have definitely learned that here. I have a new thing that I'm doing. I'm using this new computer that I was so awesomely given just the other day to allow me to try and this new process. Not sure if I like this camera compared to the camera that was on my phone. I feel like that one was much better and it could pick up the light a little better in this semi-weird studio creation that I've created here in this shed in the backyard. So I'm waiting to see if he comes back. I'm going to message him on Facebook really quickly. And let's see what's going on. Maybe his phone died or something like that. I'm going to just check him now. See what happened here. I think what happened is just that exactly, that his phone must have died or his computer must have died. He's probably picking up his phone and trying to figure out how to get back here as quickly as he can. You know, where you're in the middle of a live feed, he's frantically, because he knows that I'm probably right now online doing exactly what I'm doing right now. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was an episode that I did. It was, I believe, episode 23 or 24. It was Jacob. He was an Aramaic scholar. He is one of the guys who is going to be sponsoring the show. He wants to give me $50 a month to sponsor the show, and I don't even know what to say to that other than yes, please. And what would you like me to say every day on the show as a form of sponsorship, other than just your name and the episode that you were on? You know, I need more than that. And then I also want to throw a big shout out to somebody else who had been, who had given me money before. And I mentioned her already, so I don't know if she wants me to mention her again. I don't know what to do. But that's a good question for me to ask all you guys. Should I make that part of the show like every day? Like, not like I'll do the commercials in the beginning, right? Like, hey, okay, and now we'll start the show. You know, that whole thing that people do. And then after that, at the like somewhere in the midpoint, like for now towards the end, you know, come back and be like, yeah, I just want to thank everybody who's like my like super dope sponsors, guys, people who are badasses, you know, like that whole thing. You know what I'm talking about, right? So I'll do that too. And that's why I mentioned Jacob now. Okay, moving on. Let's bring him back. I think he's back. Is he back? He's back. He's back. Leslie's back.
Bitches.
I know that you said you didn't have much time with me, and I know that you have to go here. Do you have another like 10, 15, 20 minutes with me? Is that okay?
All right, we have plenty.
We're doing it again. Okay, awesome, dude. That makes me happy. Okay, great. So let's get back. We were doing a whole thing, and we were talking about a bunch of stuff. And you know what? Look at this, because we're kind of at the end, and I know, like, once again, I know you say you have a lot of time, but you also are, in the hotel and trying to do your thing and have your own quiet time and all that as well. So I get that as well.
Nope.
So
I'm all yours.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's turn this into a long form podcast that goes on for hours and hours and hours. Okay. Let's do this before we move on to that next part of the podcast, which is where we're going to start talking about everything in the world and all of the things that I like to bring up in all of these podcasts, which is, you know, your viewpoint on all these things, and my viewpoint on all these things. But before we get to that point, where can people find you? What are some of your things? Oh, I was going to ask you this before we move on. Have you and Cooli Booli done any short form video content that is just not a music video, not this, not that, but like, I don't know, something that's like, you know, I don't know, short form video stuff that you would put out that you could then promote your songs and or even just you on your channel and his on his channel?
No, if it's something involving him and I'll make it, and he'll share it to me and we'll both share it. Other than that, I mean, not necessarily. I mean, he pretty much takes care of a lot of that on his end. He just tags me in it so I can share it as well. He's really good at that because his platform is a lot bigger than mine. So
Right. No, I was just wondering. Yeah, it's just ideas that come across. I'm just wondering.
also too, before we get too much further, I mean, I was talking about, the couple people that are really influential in my life at the moment as far as music is concerned. It's definitely those two cats, but I'm also want to, let a little bit of the cat out of the bag. But me and Mixed Breed right now are working on a lot of good music. We have a couple of tracks already that are in the vault. We haven't released them. By the way, Mixed is Screwed Up Click, second generation Screwed Up Click. This dude's involved with.
You're gonna have to fill me in on all of these things that you're talking about because I don't know, and there's probably a lot of people that may not know what you're talking about.
Well,
so
they do know it's anything. If you know anything about Houston music, Screwed Up Click is DJ Screw. So you got anything dealing with Houston music, this is the guy.
Right. I know this, you know this, but there may be a lot of people who watch this from a lot of countries. I don't know. You may not know this, but as of recently, I've been picked up by a news outlet, call it if you want. We're a very underground news outlet. It's called Pirate Radio, and it's out of I believe Singapore. And they've been asking me to come on weekly to do like a weekly news rundown, and I'm the I guess the chosen Jew for their podcast because I have some of the answers as far as like why Jews do certain things for certain reasons, and those kind of like those things, So, but yeah, moving on. Back to you.
Yeah. So shout out to my man Bobby.
Yeah.
The dude's a solid guy, family guy. Him and I are really close. We work together. We do music together. We hang out together. He is making some huge moves right now in the Houston underground music scene that is about to put him and I both on the major map right now. He is doing big things without me spoiling it. I'm just going to say it like that. Mixed Breed, look out for him. He is making big moves with big artists, and he's pulling me along with him. And him and I actually have a couple of tracks that we're fixing to release before the end of the year. So stay tuned for that. You know what I mean? It's a big. So shout out to my man Bobby, man. I love you, brother. You're fine. We can get back home. We got stuff to work on. And shout out to DJing and Cooli, man. These are the three guys that are really pulling me along, these past years into making me who I really am as far as making and production of music. I've been making and production of music too, not only for myself, but for these guys as well. And for these guys to pick me up and say, hey, you know what? I really love this. And I want to show everybody that I know how badass this is. To me, that's huge. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm building my steam right now. So.
Dope. I mean, that's dope. Really, that's your next hello, quote unquote, the way that I've been calling it the last episodes.
I agree.
The person that's but it doesn't come. It doesn't, and this is something that I love to mention over and over again as well. It doesn't come out of nowhere. It comes from a lot of people will say, "Oh, and out of nowhere, this thing came to me." And it's like, no. It was like, how many years did you spend on YouTube by yourself in a room learning beats by yourself before Cooli even came into your life, before you even started sending him beats, before, any of that. And that's
a long time.
But yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is that is part of the process.
And guess what? I'm still, for those, and let me just say this, for those guys out there are doing what I do, or want to do, or inspired to do what I do, or inspired to do what you're doing. God bless you. I hope I'm inspiring to you because I have people that inspire me. And I would say this: my message to you is this, man. You're gonna fail. You're gonna fail time and time again with yourself. You're gonna be like, oh, this is shit, and you don't want to give up. Oh, this is too hard. I can't learn this. But if your passion is there, if the passion and your heart is into it enough, you're gonna keep trying. Michael Jordan failed a million times before he did that fucking air dunk thing. You know what I mean? And I know it's cliche, but it's really true. Put the work in, keep trying, spend hours a day on your craft. And one day it's going to just fall in your hands and it's going to fall in your lap and you're going to get it. And then once you get it, then it's even more work that you're going to do because now you say, okay, I have it, but now I need to perfect it. I need to mold it. I need to make it me. And that's kind of where I am today. I'm new in that production field where I'm like, hey, you know what? I know I have what it takes. I compete with some of the best. I know I have some of the best people looking at me. And I'm not being, in a conceited form. I'm just saying, that's where I am in my level. But every day I wake up being like, how can I freaking make something today? It's going to blow their minds. I want to make something better today than I made yesterday. And I'm going to make something that's going to, if it blows my mind, and I'll go running in the living room and tell my wife, hey, come here, what the hell I just did, right? To the level, it's almost like we were talking about earlier. It's true. Like with people that are working out, losing weight, like that point where you start seeing change, you start seeing weight loss, or you start seeing build, you start seeing gain. It really take off because it like inspires yourself to be like, oh shit, yeah, I see something now. Let's go. So that's kind of where I am now, right? I'm at that point where in my production and my music making where I'm like, okay, I have it. I know I have it. It lives in me. It lives, it breathes, it dies in me. I breathe it every day. Now it's just a form of how can I get it out and get it to where you can hear what I'm hearing and hear what I'm doing and perfect that. That's where I am now. And not only that, man, just don't give up. Don't give up, man. It's hard. Paul, I looking you in the face right now, brother. I've been knowing you for years. And you and I have had some really, really deep conversations, tears in our eyes. And I've seen you at your lowest and I've seen you at your highest. And I love you for that, brother, because you show the world like what being a real human being is like. There's ups and downs. And to never give up, brother. Like, look at you now. You're blowing up again. And I've seen you at your lowest. And then you're blowing up. You're riding around the country with moose on the handlebars of your motorcycle, loving life. And, man, I love that. You know what I'm saying? I live for that, to see it, to comment, to talk.
It's funny. One of the big lessons. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But one of the big lessons that I learned in this last 2, 3, 4 years, where you saw me at my lowest, is boundaries is one of the big lessons. And then the other lesson is be really careful who and what you allow and where you allow yourself to go in this life. Like, even if you're sitting in a shed and you're not going out every night and you're not I don't go out, dude. I have plenty of money in the bank. I can go wherever I want right now. I literally could I'm planning on going to Cancun and staying in Cancun for the next little bit of time, as I'm building with somebody else right now. But the whole story there is that I just don't want to go out. I don't want to go to a bar because that doesn't do it for me. I want to go to a haunted house. It's kind of fun, but I don't want to go by myself. Me and Moose in a haunted house. No, don't scare me. I've got a PSD dog. Don't scare me. PSD dog. I'd be like, why'd you come here, bro? The guy takes off his mask. He's like, why are you here, bro? All right. But no. So where can people find you on social media? Once again, we need to make you, at the very least, listen, I need you to check out this website. It's called durable.io, and I am not sponsored. I don't get paid, yada, yada, and yada.
Basically, right now, most people that see what I'm doing is on Facebook. I am tied in them as well, equally. And also, if you want to hear some of my production, some of my beats, some of which I have with artists that are just the track itself, artists on the track. If you want to hear just the instrumental that you've been hearing me put out with the Coolies and the King Babies and the Bobbies, you can go to SoundCloud at LMFJ1313 at SoundCloud, and also at Instagram at LMFJ. Actually, at SoundCloud, I'm just LMFJ. Instagram, I'm LMFJ1313. And then on Facebook, I'm just Leslie Jackson. So, but most everything it pretty filters through is pretty much Facebook first. And then I choose to put stuff out on Instagram and other things. I have a TikTok. I haven't really learned how to use it yet. I will start learning how to use it a little bit more because it's kind of like the trend now is TikTok. But
man, let's take.
That's pretty much.
Take a. I'm literally gonna hang up with you after this. There's literally one person I will tell you to go watch who makes $260,000 a month, and that's enough said. If he hasn't figured it out, then I don't know what. But if you can just follow what he has done,
hook me up.
Literally just do what he's doing. His name is Connor Price, and I'm sure you've seen the video. It's a guy. Connor Price is the guy's name. I've even asked him. I've begged him to be on this on the podcast. He's one of my wanted, and I've also been begging Matis Yahoo, because he's been doing a lot of stuff for Israel, and I really wanted to talk to him, just in general. I want to talk to him about like why he did what he did, what the big change was. Like, I don't know if he's ever talked about that. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a question that I'm sure like so many people have, which is like, bro, why did you, and what are you doing now with your religion? I know that's a personal question, and it's like, who gives a fuck really to anybody else? But we all inquiring minds want to know, bro. You know, I mean, we see that you're happy. We see that you're, living in this beautiful life. You have a wife, you have kids, you're touring. You have this thing that's going on. Seem to have lost Leslie there again. That sucks. He'll come back. But yeah, that's one of my things. I really want to have him on the show and some other people. So if there's people out there who are watching, that's you guys. If you guys know anybody who knows 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 anybody that has a show or a product or a song that they just put out, or an album, or anything, or a business, or whatever, if you know anybody, or you yourself want to be on the show, please contact me. Send me a message. Please excuse me. Oof. Okay, Leslie's back. I
don't know what's going on.
It's probably the internet at the hotel you're at. It's not you, man. I'm sure that's what it is.
I switch over to phone and Tether because obviously the hotel is sketchy. So
maybe that's what it is. Yeah, if you can switch over and do that, you can do that.
Shout out to T-Mobile. T-Mobile's hooking it up at the moment. But it's been a wild ride, and something else I want everybody to know before I leave this podcast. I don't, let's forget about everything that I just talked about. And a lot of people don't understand or even know this about me, but I want it known right away, right now. And there's nothing that I'll ever stray away from by saying this. I'm a firm, because you were getting into Matis Yahoo and his religion and what he's doing and blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
I'm a Christian. I'm a patriot. I love my country. I'm a man, and I'm a firm, and I want to repeat again, very firm, standing on everything I know in my life, believer in my Lord Jesus Christ. There's nothing more important than that to me right now. In the past 3 years of my life, I've gotten more in touch with my Lord and my God than anything. I wouldn't be where I am today, man, without it. Honestly, I really wouldn't. There's so many evil things going on in the world, and I know that's kind of where you wanted to go to the end of this podcast. We're talking about world stuff.
I mean, it's not. I was going to ask
right now. I don't take any side. I know there's some things going on overseas. I'll say this: I love my country. I love my neighbor, and I want to make it perfectly clear. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what God you pray to. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how popular you are. I don't care how broke you are. I don't care how pretty you are. I will love you and give you the same respect that I give myself until you break that chain. And I want the world to know that about LMFJ. I want the world to know that about Leslie Jackson, the father, the husband, the grandfather, the son of a beautiful mother that raised me right. I am a man. I love Jesus. I love God. And I'm a very spiritual man. And I'll say that it comes before anything in life is that I will stand on the firm ground of being a firm believer in my Jesus, period. Nothing comes before that. And I will love you and embrace you for whatever's going on in the world. I pray for you. I pray for your hurt. I pray for your losses. I pray for I pray for your winnings and your prosperities. I pray for all of it. That's what I pray for when I hit my knees every night and every morning. When I talk to my God, it's not about me. It's really not about me. It's about the world and where we're going. You know what I mean? We need prayer right now. And again, I'm going to repeat, we need prayer right now, no matter who you pray to, whatever you pray to. You need to be praying. You need to be on your knees. You need to be getting in tune with your higher self, because right now the world needs it more than anything. And I think everybody can agree with me on that, unless you're just a evil Satanist piece of shit. I think everybody can agree with that. Everybody needs to be in some kind of solidarity with themselves and with the people around them right now in the world, because right now we need it more than anything. We need love. We need more positive love in this world, man. And if anything you get from this podcast, at the end of it right now, I want to tell everybody out there listening to me, I push and produce love to everyone. I want everyone to know that love is what it takes. Loving your neighbor, loving that asshole that's at work, even though he treats you like shit. Go home, go home and talk to God about him. Go home and wish him well. Wish that he treats other people better than he treated you today. But you should also literally treat people with kindness and respect. It goes so far. It goes so far. It doesn't matter if you're American, Palestinian, German, Russian, African. I don't care what you are. And everybody that knows me knows I have an eclectic love of friends. I have a big pool, right? I love everyone the same. Everyone knows that about me. And if I can push anything in the world right now is the time to actually say this. We need love, more love than anything in the world right now. We need to stop what we're doing, take a pause. We need to stop this ugliness, this violence, whether you call it terrorism, politicians, whatever the hell you call it. Stop. Take a breath and start loving one another and respecting people as a human being on this planet, because that's the only way we're going to survive. If not, we're literally on the brink of self-destruction. We are. And it's very obvious. If you're not paying attention to what's going on in the world, it's very obvious that we're on a brink of self-destruction. We need to come together as a human race, as a people, and start loving one another, man. There's not one person that could come to me, even the most evil person in the world. They've been loved some kind of way at least once. They felt love. They know what love is. You can't tell me that you're not going to take love over evil, that you're going to take evil love. I'm sorry. You're not going to. Anybody in their right mind can say that, hey, you know what? I know if you like to be loved. I want to be loved, even if it's from a perfect stranger. Walk outside, that asshole neighbor that you don't like, man, go tell that guy that he's awesome. Even if you don't respond, show him love and respect. Show the people around you love, kindness, and respect. Because at the end of the day, it all reflects down to who you are. And if everybody can do that, or at least the majority of us, man, it would be so much a better place to live in. It really, really would. Really would.
Wow, you just hit it off. You just had a sermon there, my friend.
I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. But
no, dude, no, keep going. Look at all these people. Look at all these people, all these messages that are coming through right now. All these people that are saying, how much they love you, and how much they love what you're saying and how awesome you are. And
I can't see none of it, but if you can hear me, just stop the ugliness.
right.
Yeah, man. Stop being ugly to each other, man. Stop that shit.
It's a really heavy place where we are, man. I was just the other night here, and I started watching news from Israel, and it's called I-24 News, super slanted, in one direction, like anything else, like Fox or CNN, but just in Tel Aviv. But the thing that really kind of pushed me over the edge was a bunch of kids who are in yeshiva, who are studying to be rabbis, who are putting down their books to go join the military. And my analogy to that is like the same thing is like when you see the dogs and the cats running away to go find somewhere to hide or start barking because there's an earthquake coming. Those are your dogs and your cats right there, bro. If they start going and they start putting down their books, which is all they know. It's all they've known since they were like 5 or 6 years old, is to pick up a book and study Torah. They don't know anything.
That should be alarming to you.
It should be massively alarming. It should be Freaky Friday alarming, bro. It should be the kind of alarming that is like, yo, bro, we're straight up in like some the revelations, coming. Revelation be a coming, like the 666 target. It already happened. Guess what? We all got the shot. Hello, knock on the door. Is anybody watching this? Is anybody paying attention?
Yeah, so
it's weird,
again,
it's weird. Like on one level, we're woke.
We're spirits living in a meat suit, man. We're spirits living in a meat suit, and we're letting these worldly things overcome what our spirit is really about. Our spirit is made to love. There's evil spirit. Don't get me wrong. There's black and white. There's evil. There's good and wrong, and that's really where we're at right now. I think in this world we're living in, with everything going on at the moment, it's really boiling down to, you can call it this, you can call it that, but really what it's boiling down to, are you good or are you evil? That's really the most simplest way to put it. I don't even know how else to even say it.
Yeah, no, and this is something that I wanted to put out there, especially while we're talking about this now, is that when I say Israel against the world, what I mean there is like what Israel truly means. The idea of the Abrahamic first monotheistic religion, period. None more. You push it into whatever direction you want to make yourself feel happy, blah, 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 whatever. But what we're talking about in the end is, are you with that? Are you not with that? Period. You can come at it however you want. Like and I've said in other episodes, like, if you want to be like a Freemason, be a Freemason. I don't care. As long as you have a monotheistic God that you're coming at with, that's what I'm cool with. As long as Abrahamic monotheistic God. Let's be technical.
And I won't even get that. And I wasn't even trying to get that. Yeah, I don't even want to get that technical. I'm just saying that you're either for the good or you're for the bad. You know what I mean? That's really what it's boiled down to in this
Yeah,
this country.
I mean, but that's such a loaded thing, and I don't mean to be disrespectful. It's because when you say good or bad, I can go to this analogy of like I can put a line in the sand and say on one side there's a terrorist and on the other side there's a freedom fighter. But if I just flip to the other side of the sand, I'm the freedom fighter, and that's a terrorist coming at me with his AK-47 and his fucking big old tank. You know, how do you want to be, and what do you want to, like, what are you looking at? Right now, unfortunately, I'm on the side of whatever the fuck is going on is heavy-handed. I don't want to say it's too much, but I also don't want to say it's too little either, because it's seemingly destruction on either end. It's seemingly pain and on either end. It's seemingly death of children on either side. And
well, that's what I meant when I said was just stop.
Yeah, and I was
just stop it. Stop everything. Everybody, stop. Take pause and think about what's valuable in your life. Think about yourself, your inner self, your inner being. Your what is your spiritual inner self saying to you right now? And that goes for people that's out there, that goes for people that's in here, that goes for people that don't have anything to do with it at all, that goes for everyone in the world, because all of us matter. Because at the end of the day, really, what does it really boil down to? It boils down to, are you going to treat the person next to you good, or are you not? Are you going to try to take some resentment out on them? Oh, you took over my land, so I'm going to take over your land, so I'm going to shoot your people, and you're going to shoot my people. And what are we doing? Stop. We need to just stop this shit. You know, just put a pause to it. Stop it. Now, I'll be the first to tell you that I'm a patriot. People that know me, you've been following me for years.
Hold on, Leslie. Before you keep going, I want to throw in a point there that you said, you know, about, hey, you came on my land, or you're on my land, or this or that, or the other land, or whatever, right?
All it's about.
No. What I want to say is that it's come hard time to pass that we can use that as a point inside of the battle of reasoning, if that makes sense. What I'm trying to say is every country, every location that is a place today has been somehow or another infected by some outside source that came in because it was trying to overtake them, whether it's from religion, whether it's the Spanish Inquisition, whether it's Genghis Khan, whether it's Napoleon, whether it's the Roman Empire. You could go on and on. But what I'm trying to get at is that you can't say, well, I'm pointing fingers at the people who came to America first and took away from the Indians. Bro, it's too late. We're in the year 2023. We're having conversations on the internet while one guy's in a hotel and another guy's in a shed with a blanket behind him, and we're trying to have a point. Like we have the Library of Alexandria in our phones where we can pick up, ask ChatGPT anything. And now it's connected to Bing. So you can ask ChatGPT anything on the internet. Literally anything. And it'll give you a story. It'll give you a book. Now you can use ChatGPT to make pictures. I mean, like we have everything at our fingertips. So when someone says I can't do or I don't know, it's like, what do you mean you don't know? What do you mean you don't know? There's a big thing. Google. Googly. Google. How did people get to the point where everything's so hard? It's not hard. You just have to be willing. The stopping point is the part of willingness. Unfortunate, but it comes down to willingness. It's the willingness to want to stop. It's the willingness to want to not have this bag of anger we carry. It's a willingness to let go of that and say, I'm no longer going to hold on to that. And no longer am I not going to hold on to it, but I'm also going to let go of it and I'm going to not come back to it 2 weeks later or a month later or a year later and be like, ah, ha, ha, remember when? And then bring it back up just to be a dick. It has to be something that is forgotten. It has to have a representation of a moment that says, yo, dude, and I've been saying this for years. I've made videos about it. How I've stood naked in a river with leaves over my pee-pee, asking people just to do it, which is just do your thing. Be your beauty. Stop being part of this system, this machine. If you're getting paid $150,000 to $250,000 a year at your job, I'm unfortunate, and I don't mean to say this to you. I'm not trying to be a dick. You're part of the problem. And I don't mean that I don't want you to live comfortably, and I don't mean that I don't want you to, but somewhere within the position that you're doing, you're towing the line of subjectiveness for the rest of us. And I don't, and you're probably not even doing it on purpose. You're probably just the guy who's at one point within the car assembly line who's just like, yo, dude, what are you talking about? I'm just putting the wires in from A to B. Go fuck yourself. I have nothing to do with anything. But you're inside the machine. You're part of that process. And you're part of that maneuvering of back and forth. Or you're, dare I say it, you're the police officer who's just following the literal commandment that was put into his ear by the station on Hawaii to stop the traffic because there's a fire further ahead that they think is going to come close. They don't know what the is going on. They don't. And that guy's now being blamed for hundreds of deaths, thousands of, or whatever it is, right? And so it's like, you know, and then there's conspiracy theories. Oh, he was meant to be, or the beams from the planet.
Well, like I said, it really boils all the way back down to we're so far deep. You have to back up to the basics. You're either for hurting other humans or you're not. Even if you know if you know that you're doing it, that's wrong. Doing it, I think that's another different situation. But at the same time, I'm just going to speak for myself. I live my life every day.
I think that comes down to education, right? When someone does it, but they don't know that they're doing it incorrectly or the wrong way. I don't want to say that because I don't know if there's a right way to do everything or anything. But maybe you know what I mean? Like, that maybe there's a more less abrasive manner. I don't know where, you know, each case by case basis, of course, of what we're talking about here. But yeah, I think that comes down to education. Maybe, and I always leave it to the analogy, and I'll let you speak in a second. Forgive me. Which is, I can't get angry at a blacksmith's son for being a blacksmith. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't get angry at this kid who all he's ever known is being a kid inside of a room with his dad who tells him to beat a piece of metal in a certain manner. Like, that's all he knows. You know, and if that's his religion, if that's his ideology, if that's his thing, and that's where he learns all of his intentions and ideas and things, is from his father. And his father, let's say he doesn't have a religion. The religion is the metallurgy is the religion. Who knows? Whatever. And that's all he knows. You can't get angry at him for that. You can't be angry.
I'm not angry, and I'm not angry at. I'm not angry at anyone in particular.
No, I know, and I wasn't saying you were. I was just saying.
I know that. I'm just carrying on. I'm just taking the point and moving forward with it. I'm not married. I'm not married. I'm not upset or mad at anyone in particular for that particular reason either, because guess what? You know, you're taught to do whatever you're taught, and if you don't know any better, you don't know any better. It's speaking to the ones that do know better, and you do know what's going on, and you have the power to change it. And if you're not changing it for the more positive of the world, then shame on you. You know what I mean? But I know where I stand, and I know where I'm at. I know where I lay my head at night, and where I lay my head at night is on a positive note, that I know that I'm not doing harm to others. I give everybody all of my love and my respect, and hence why I get a lot of love and respect in return because that's all I have to give. If I'm not, I used to be the guy where if you piss me off, I'd be like, you know, it's going to be physical. Like I want to bust your ass or whatever. I used to be that dude, you know, 10, 15 years ago. I really was. Ask my wife, ask people that know me. I love to be physical. I used to love to fight. But today I look at it like, you know what, man? It's like, if you're coming at me, let's give you a scenario. If we're at a bar and or anywhere rather, if we're in a store and, you know, you're being extremely ugly to the clerk or for no apparent reason, and I'm watching this whole thing, I'm literally gonna, in a sense, I'm gonna try to mind my business. But if it gets to a point where I feel like the spirit is telling me to say something, I'll just gently ask the person, like, "Hey, man, like, are you okay? Like, what is bothering you to the point where what is making you so angry that you have to take that out on this particular person for no apparent reason?" Right? That's interesting to me. I want to try to, maybe that's the spirit in me. I want to delve into that. Like, hey, why are you even being ugly to me? Like I had no ill will against you. Like, let me buy you a beer. Let's talk about it. You know what I mean? That's that old cliche. Most big guys are like that, by the way. A lot of big guys aren't. We walk around, we're big. You know, I'm big, I'm intimidating. I know it. I look intimidating. I'm a big, ugly guy with tattoos. But people that know me know the total opposite of me. I'll be the first to tell you that I love you. And if you got problems, we can talk about it. If you're mad at me for something, man, please tell me so I can try to adjust, or maybe we can work it out. It don't have to be in a violent manner. You know what I mean? And the same resonates throughout the world. These people that are killing one another, it's all for just the name of something, right? It's never really truly validated, in my opinion. I think these people really need to stop what they're doing and be like, hey, you know what? Like you said earlier about the line in the sand, like, hey, you know what? We've had 1,000 years of this shit. At some point, and this is what I mean, but at some point, somebody has to say, I'm sorry. Even if they're fucking right. Even if they were the ones that were oppressed. At one point, you have to show mercy and forgiveness and love. That's the only way we're going to get out of it. That's what I meant to say earlier. And that's why I'm sorry I couldn't get it out. I got emotional, but thinking about it for a minute now, that's the words I was trying to say. Eventually, you have to say, hey, you know what? The bully of the fucking class, I'm sorry, bro. I know you're a complete asshole, but maybe, you know what? That guy's probably had a shit life at home. Let's talk about it. Maybe I can help you. You know what I mean? These people need to understand that just because you have a difference of who you pray to or what land you're standing on doesn't mean shit. You're still a human being with a soul inside of you. And at one point, somebody has to say, I'm sorry. Somebody has to lay it down and say, I give. Please stop. That's what I feel going on right now. And I've been following politics and world shit for about 15 years. But right now, that's pouring out of my blood. Right now, pouring out of you see it in my face. We started this off with LMFJ, the DJ, that. But really, man, we have some real serious problems going on in our world that it does affect me. I know I might seem like this big tough, but really at the end of the day, I have a huge heart, and what's going on in the world really, really affects me in a sense of it makes me go home at night and really look at my wife and tell her I love you and I love my children. I love who I am, and I'm proud to be and lucky and fortunate and blessed to be where I am today, that I don't have to be over there dealing with that right now. But my message is the outside world, because it's going to take the world to come together to tell these people, stop what you're doing. Stop being whatever stop it. It's in the name of what? Land, money, whatever, right? No,
Yeah,
man.
It's more than all of that. You know, like we said, it comes down to, are you a person that wants to be nice and gentle and loving towards other, or are you kind of person that wants to be angry and dismissive and murderous
Exactly.
Other people. It's that simple. What side are you on, bro? What side are you on?
I mean,
Do you want to be a peace-loving hippie, or do you want to be a warmongering, angry butthole? That's it. Now, the thing that I want to talk about that is totally off of the topic of
Right.
war and anger, but kind of on the other side of things, is the media as of lately has been very biased, and it's been very dismissive of other voices. For instance, we can talk about this show in general, in and of itself. I have over 6,000 people that this goes out to, okay, on just one channel alone. On another channel, I have 35,000 followers and members on that, which on daily, we get about 100 views from that, right? So on this, we get about 100 something views. So all around, on about all 6 of them, we're getting anywhere from about 600 to 1,000 views a day across all channels. Now, you would think with the following of close to 2,000 people or 6,000 people, I'm almost at 7,000, and me going live every single day, you would think by now. And also, viewership is there. There are people who are definitely watching. So it's like, you would think by now there would be much more views, but because of what we talk about, and even if I didn't get into just this with you, even if we, like you at the beginning of the podcast, when I was like, yo, you're going too fast, you're running through everything, all the talking points in one spot. No, hold on, this is a long form. But shout out to you for promoting your friends and everybody that you're so proud to be with, and which you should be, but nonetheless, yeah. No matter what happens in the world that we live in, we're going to end up having a conversation. We're going to end up talking about something that's a little off the cuff. And as soon as we do, YouTube, Facebook, whoever, we'll just go click. No more of that sound in this cacophony of poo-poo that is out here. We don't want nice sounds, or we don't want knowledgeable sounds. Look at what they've done with people who are mainstream media personalities, or even talking heads, that have just been absolutely eradicated from the scene, and I have to go to sites like Rumble or Kick or anywhere else because
prime example, Russell Brand.
Oh my God, look at what
Russell
happened
Brand.
to Russell Brand. They absolutely tried.
We don't like what you're saying, so now we're going to put out that you're a pedophile and all this other shit, date raper. Come on, man.
Absolutely tried to destroy him.
Cat Williams, right? Cat Williams talks about real shit.
For years. He's been doing this for years. He's been talking about it for years.
Man, you know who the pioneer was, bro?
Sorry.
You know who the pioneer was, though? And I'll tell everybody, even the young cats that don't know what I'm saying, George Carlin. George Carlin. I'm sorry, Carlin. That dude was speaking fire 20 years ago. He was talking about the institutional slavery that we're in and all this shit. And they tried everything to silence that dude. You know what I mean? Just same thing, man. It's the same exact thing. If you're trying to speak anything about truth or realness or love, that's why I'm careful about what I post on Facebook. You know what I mean? And sometimes I don't even care. I'm just like, share. It's truth. I'm sharing it. That's probably why I don't have a big following, because I get censored. I'm getting censored. Even little old me.
It's 100%. Listen, listen, if you want to get super real, right? And I've been following this, and I've been very heavily connected to call it the Web3, Web5 community and all that, right? And I've been going to all the conventions, and I've met some of the cool weird guys that are the underground kids, the hackers, the guys that are really trying to build weird stuff. I have 2 guys who I'm begging daily to come on the show. They created something called the Mequavis. And if you want to look it up, please do. It's MEQUAVIS. Yes, I got it right. MEQUAVIS. Mequavis.
You saw it in your brain for a quick moment.
Bro, it was so hard. It was so hard. But if you look that up, Mequavis is this large language model that he's created that is based off of like the ChatGPT models, but he's running it on his own server bank. And then inside of that, he's created a universe creating bot. And within that universe, he then, a God creator bot, if you will. But then there's other bots that then work for the creator bot that are created by the creator bot. But then there's other bots that are down that work other parts of the universe that make certain things work, because this creator bot obviously doesn't want to take care of that or do that or have anything to do with it. Bro, it's so well thought out. And it's so absolutely insane. And it's on YouTube and they're live, and you can talk to this robot while it's telling a story about its creation of its own creation.
Wow.
And so it's like that's what they're doing right now. So if that's what's happening now, who cares about picture, drawing, texty to a picture? I'm talking about some crazy shit over here. Like I remember when I was in New York, and this was 7 years ago. A friend of mine who's a magician who's also works for the government, does like a bunch of, he's a real brainiac, a genius guy, programmer, hacker kind of character. And he showed me a computer at his house 6-7 years ago. We were at a bar. We went to his apartment 2 blocks away, and he was like, I gotta show you this crazy shit I'm working on. I'm like, yeah, what the fuck? I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah. He walks in and he goes, look, this is it. This is the prototype. And I'm like, okay, what is it? Blank white wall with just a little thing that says, please look here. That's all it is. And I'm like, okay. I go, okay. Because, yeah, just stare at that thing right now. You're like, all right, watch, ready? And I'm like, okay. And he goes, all right, I'm done. And I'm like, what did you do? And he's like, all right, come over here. I go over to his screen, bro. It's everything me. I can't explain it any other way other than in about and this is 6-7 years ago, okay, that it was a repository and pictures, videos, posts, anything and everything that you could think of that would be deemed on the edge of politically incorrect. Here's the triangle, and anything that's over on this side and over. All right, that it was just like on a screen, like almost like a poster board screen,
like a collage almost.
Yeah, and it was just posts everywhere, like pin drop or Pinterest. It was just posts everywhere, and it was all like these major posts that have either had major engagement or had something.
But they were all you.
It was just me.
Wow. AI, bro.
Just from and that's something that comes from 2011, right? Is that when 9/11 happened? Was it 2011, right? Yeah, 2011.
No, 9/11 was 2001.
Sorry, please forgive me. So 2001, right after 2001, they set the Patriot Act. So since the Patriot Act till today, they've been doing a process called download now, decrypt later. So to a certain extent, most of what's on the internet is encrypted, and so that you're not found explicitly. So yeah, you may not be. It may be find you or me or whoever who's trying to promote themselves, but for those who aren't, to go to backlog like an email is kind of hard, or this, that, and the other. They make it kind of hard for you to do it, especially in Web 2 world that we're in right now. Web 3, by the way, is what's called the Internet of Things. And then Web 5 is, we skip a number. Web 5 is when you are now able to enter this thing that we call Web 2, but in many different ways through Web 3. So the Internet of Things, for instance, is like your refrigerator has internet, and it can go to Shopify and order the new thing of milk.
Right,
because it's
right,
about,
right.
like
everything is a smartphone or a smart TV or a smart
right,
appliance,
and then the next
smart
layer,
car.
you get it. But then
Right.
the next layer to that is to then do AR, which is augmented reality. So now I can create a reality in my field of view, but yet interact still with my Samsung laundromat and my refrigerator and all these other things. These assets are still there, and my my glasses can see them, but I'm looking at another world while I'm swimming through an ocean of, I don't know, candy canes and whatever I want to see because it's Christmas time. I bought that dope ass, frame of view from frameofview.com from artist LMFJ, who made his Christmas thing. And while I put that frame of view on, art made by whoever, whatever, mixed with AI reality, whatever kind of thing. But the music is LMFJ in the background. So while I'm walking down the street, I hear the LMFJ, new jingle, and everything that's going up and down like a tree or a pole, I see as a candy cane, and everything on the ground is snow, and I hear your music in the background. Yeah, and that's my world, But when I come to my washing machine still a washing machine. Maybe it's wrapped in a present with a bow, on top. I mean, that's the next level. And then the level after that is to create like a virtual reality version of that. So now you import the entire world and all the imagery into this new world that you now can live within in some way. And then the next one, which would be, I guess, if we're skipping numbers, Web 7 or Web 6, depending, would be a symbiosis of you and the internet. So maybe there's a suit at first that you fully engulf your body, you zip it up, and now there's like little touch points at every point of your body, and then you put on gloves, and now there's touch points all over your fingers, and then maybe now there's a mask, a thin mask that you put on that also has all these touch points with perfect harmonic to your ears or something. And now you have full immersion into this world, and with maybe contact lenses and maybe something that covers your eyes to make it to where you something that puts in your nose that gives you scents, so you can smell roses. Maybe you can taste food when you put it in your mouth, and maybe there's like game food that's like I don't know, Stay Puft Marshmallow type style food that you just put in your mouth while you're eating stuff, and that's like that's meat. And you think you're eating meat because you smell it, it looks like it, it tastes like it, because it's all there in your brain, because it's all fully connected and you're fully in it. That would be the next thing. And then the level after that would be full, like, I don't know, some kind of, full on Matrix style symbiosis into the world where now your chemicals and your electrical signals are fully immersed into something else, like another world, where now you could probably live 80 years in 3 minutes.
I ain't trying to live like that.
I don't know. I don't know that that's going to be like something that we wouldn't want to live, but it would be more like an amusement park you would go to.
Right.
Like you would go like, and it's very much like there's an episode in what's his name? I forgot the name of the show, the cartoon. What's his name? The two kids, the grandpa and the son that go on the crazy adventures in the future. Man, I can't believe I can't believe.
I have no idea, but I do know
Rick and Morty.
Oh, Rick and
So
Morty.
there's a very famous Rick and Morty episode where Rick goes up to Morty and he goes, they're in this like mall in the middle of nowhere, you know, and he's like, "Oh, you got to try this out," and he slaps this thing on his head, which is like this, VR headset, and he puts money in the machine and pushes play before the kid even has an option to figure out what's going on, and he goes through an entire 85-year lifespan.
Wow.
Sees his wife and his children and everything, and then he comes to the end, and they're all there at the bed, and then he dies, and all of a sudden, and he's right back at the mall, and he's like, "What the fuck? Where's my mom? Where's my wife? Where's my kids? He's just a little kid again," and he's like, "Yeah, man, that's this video game." So I think very much it'll be kind of like that. You know what I mean?
I don't think I'll see it, but it doesn't matter. I got to jump off, my friend.
I think we will see it, believe it or not, man, really soon. Because
I'm saying I won't particularly see it. I don't feel like it's going to be a part of my life, but
man, I think unfortunately or fortunately, it's coming within the next 10 to 15 years, 20 years tops.
Yeah.
I think all of the different things that I talked about. Yeah, I mean, they already have suits in the way that I'm talking, just not fully developed like the one I described. There's the gloves that you can feel and have haptic, quote unquote, feedback. There's suits that you can put on that tell where your body is. So there's the points of things are there already. It's just how much this is the next fight. By the way, I talk about this a lot. The first one is the first one we were talking about, which is, are you on the good side or the bad side? And then the next one is, are you accepting or not accepting of this new technology in your body or around your body? Or, and then that goes back to the idea of, okay, well, you had a heart attack and you need a pacemaker and you were just shaking your head no. Are you going to use a pacemaker? You wouldn't, Leslie. You really wouldn't use a pacemaker. You would just die. You would say, no, kill me. I don't want to live.
I'll say this: when it's my time, the good Lord's going to take me.
Right. Okay. So then let's we're going to do it. We're going to go all the way here. You're on the top of your house. You fell down. You have a heart attack when you hit the ground. You go to the hospital. They wake you up. There's a pacemaker inside of you. You're alive. Your family's around, and they love you, and they know not to use microwaves when you're around.
Well, in that case, I ain't got a choice.
Well, no, but okay. So then that's the case. That's what I'm saying. So then you would use the tech, is what I'm saying at that point. Yes.
It is.
Right?
Yeah.
So the level then is, how far is too far, Leslie? When is it that we're no longer human? When is it that we used too many things? Like, oh, well, I replaced my heart organ valve. I replaced my lungs with these new DNA, I don't know, whatever, sync created with my blood, whatever.
To be honest,
how long is it before you're no longer you?
I can't answer that.
I know.
I can't answer that. I can't answer that because I don't know.
Right.
I don't know that. I have no idea. I can't speak on it because I don't know. I will say this though. I am who I am. Technology is going to be what it is. I'm going to embrace what I can and what I feel is necessary as we go along in this world of technology. But I will never lose sight of who I am. And I am who I am, which is a human being, which was born and built by the grace of God, period. I am perfect.
I don't think that's maybe that's one of the cruxes to this whole thing. And I've mentioned this before, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful towards the human race and our evolutionary process and what we've done up to this point by any means when I say this, but everything's new under the sun, right? It's a statement we all understand. Like there's nothing new under the sun, right? We all understand this idea that And if you understand that idea, you understand that everything's already been created, or everything's already been. And there's this other statement that you say to yourself, or I say to myself and to others when they're either in a good mood or either in a bad mood, is that, hey man, everything is happening the way it's supposed to happen in the moment that it's happening right now. And if that's the case, and you and I are talking on this thing called, internet, through this thing called technology, and through this thing that we know is real called AI, then we know that
Okay, I get your point.
we know that the direction is what this direction is, right? It's not going to stop. Technology is not, unless we all blow each other up. Otherwise, it's a symbiosis that's going to happen at one point or another. And that symbiosis, in my opinion, is the attempt to be what we already are. Right?
All
So
right,
I think that we... Right, go ahead. Yeah, please. And I'll be quiet for a while now. I'll go shoot off.
I'm gonna sign off with this. Number one, thanks for the time to get to know me, to everyone out there that tuned in, to get to know who I am, LMFJ and Leslie. Thank you, Paul, for having me, for sure. I'm having to sign off because I gotta go have dinner and I gotta go to bed soon because I have to get up super early. I'm on Eastern time, so I'm an hour already behind. It's 9 o'clock over here where I am. I very much enjoyed our conversations. We always have great conversations, you and I. Bless you, my friend, and all your endeavors. I'm proud of you and everything that you're doing lately with your new ventures into On the Other Side. I'm super happy. You see, I tune in all the time, as much as I can. Definitely, want to say thank you to everybody out there that follows me, that believes in what I'm doing, that believes in the music, that believes in, again, as the latter part of this interview, believes in being just a good human being. Peace and blessings to all of y'all. And that's how I'm going to sign off. I really want to just tell everyone thank you. And then I love you. And God loves you. And if you have any type of issues that you feel that are really just, weighing you down, or feeling that the life is just beating the shit out of you, I'll say it on this platform in front of everybody. Please, by all means, call me. Call me. Get in touch with me. Talk to me. I'll be there for you. I will pick up the phone in the middle of the night. And a lot of the people that know me know this. I will be there for you. Call me, talk to me. Let's get it out. If there's anything that I can do to help you with every stream of my body, I will try to help you. The reason why I'm saying this is because I have people that help me in the same way. So if it's just about your struggle with music, or just with life, or your wife, or your kids, or whatever, drug addiction, man, just call me. And that's how I want to sign off. I want to sign off with that. If you have anything that you need that I can possibly help you with, please let me know. Because by God, I lean on people myself too. We all do. And if we keep doing that and we keep leaning on each other, maybe we can take each other. We'll take each other to the other side of it. Right. So with that being said, Paul, thank you, my brother. I love you. For those out there that are listening tonight that may be tuning in for the first time, follow Paul. He's a very intelligent, very eclectic, very loving, magical person. I respect everything that you do, my friend. I have been for years, and just keep doing what you're doing, brother. You got my vote behind you 1,000%. I love you, and I'm gonna sign off. I hope I see you soon. I'm gonna be home in a few days. My wife and I will be traveling back. And I'll be home in a few days, and hopefully we could catch you maybe at my next show. You never know. So LMFJ, Leslie Jackson.
Are you going to be in New Orleans anytime soon?
I will be in New Orleans, and next week, my little girl is traveling to New Orleans with my new grandbaby, Bethany Psalm Hernandez. my little world right now. She got me wrapped up. They're going to introduce our 10-month-old, 11-month-old grandbaby to the rest of the family in New Orleans next weekend. So we'll be joining her for that. So are you in New Orleans right now, Paul?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm here right now. Yeah.
Where?
Like I said,
Where you at?
I'm currently in Jefferson, right off of 90.
I know right where you at. Jefferson Small.
Yeah, right off of Jefferson Highway, right? Like literally half a block away from my house. I'm right by the Michael Seafood that's right there. That's right next to the Auctioner Hospital, right on the other side of the.
You know what's funny? Literally, my dad just passed away last year. You literally are down the street from where my dad lived. So I know right where you at.
Lion Street? It's not Lion Street, is it?
My dad's street? You brain farted me. I don't know the street, but my dad was only about 5 or 6 blocks from that hospital.
Okay.
He lived, you know where Southport Hall is?
Southport Hall. I don't know if I know that one.
It's like a music venue / club, Southport Hall.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. It's literally like 7 minutes from my house.
On the River Road.
The live right there 3 nights ago.
It's on River Road with the levee. Like the bar is on River Road. It follows the levee. That bar, Southport Hall, is on that road. It's facing the levee. And that street, that side street, that's the street my dad lived on.
Right.
I know right where you at. I'll get a hold of you when I get back, my friend. I'll get a hold of you when I get into New Orleans next week.
Yeah, man, whenever you want. Let's chat. And like, I would love to. Once again, I'm going to say his name again, so you don't forget it at the end. His name is Connor Price.
Well, you got my phone number. Just text me, please.
Yeah, but try and remember. Literally, hang up with me right now and go to any social media and just look
Connor
up
Price.
Connor Price and just start watching his content. Start to just eat it up because he's amazing. $250,000 a month is pretty amazing to be just making content video from home. So
sure,
you know what I'm saying. He figured something out, right? So yeah. 100%. I love you, man. Thank you so much for being on the show. I truly, truly appreciate you. I truly appreciate your candid nature and everything, man. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here, man.
No worries, man. Thank you, and peace and love to everyone out there that's listening tonight. May you lay your head on your pillow tonight with some peace and love in your heart. Hopefully, you could spread a little bit of joy tomorrow when you wake up tomorrow to someone that really needs it. So that's what I wish for. Love you guys. Peace.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I've said it every single show. Every single show. At the end, it's like, it's so amazing to get to meet the person who writes the book. And it takes a little bit sometimes. I don't know if you've watched, but we've had a couple people get really emotional on this show. And I think that it's part of why I do what I do. And it's not because I'm trying to pull strings to make somebody, I want you to cry on my show because it makes better. It's not that. It's like, I'm trying to find the real you. And I said it from the beginning, right? I was like, you're a real softie and da-da-da-da. If you watch the video, please, if you haven't watched, please watch right at the beginning. I'm like, yo, you're this big guy who's really soft. He mentions it. He gets soft for a second. But all the way at the end, he really comes out and there's this really beautiful, I said it, man, please preach. You're giving a sermon, man. Don't stop, And yeah, man, thank you for everybody who's coming in. And thank you for all the people who are leaving messages. Junior, I love you. I see you. Rainier Gonzalez, I see you there leaving all the messages, and everybody else who was here tonight. Man, I'm so stoked. I don't know what happened, like in the middle of the show, but like all the messages started coming in. And it was intense. I was like, oh, they're coming in from everywhere. So appreciative to all of you guys. Really, seriously, thank you all. So let's tie it up like I try to do every single time. And it goes something like this. Please, my friend, go out to the world and do something nice for somebody else. And if you can't, do something nice for yourself. it does start with you. Number two, don't get caught up in all the crazy things and conspiracy theories and all that. Because if you do, then I do, and we all do, and we all end up crazy poopy poops, and that's not good. I, and then there's no eyes, and then we see nothing. We're blind. And number three, please like, share, subscribe. Send this out to somebody who'd like to see it. I love you all. I thank you all. Like I said, I'm looking for sponsors from big to small. If you want to find out more, I'll give you some information. I've got a whole thing about it. And really, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. And thank you for sharing and all that good stuff. And from my heart to yours, I will see you all on the other side. Wait.